I just got out of the theaters from witnessing The Menu on the big screen, and I have some things that I want to talk about for this film, guys. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the review. Let's go. What's going on, guys? The Demigod back on Demigod to bring you another movie review for The Menu, starring Anya Taylor-Joy, in this brand new film that's inside the horror / comedy genre that also features plenty of thriller elements, plenty of suspense elements, and happen to be one of the most unique, one of the most interesting, one of the most intriguing films I've seen all year. So this is definitely one I'm excited to talk about with all of you guys, and I really wish that I went to see this on the opening night, on opening Thursday. I got to witness this Saturday, and while that's still opening weekend, so I'm happy about that. I feel like, man, I might have missed out on a little bit of the experience because I truly didn't know what I was going to be getting with this film. I truly didn't know the type of ride I was in for when I walked in to sit down and view this movie, man. And I gotta say, this is one of the best films this year, for sure, man. And so let's just go ahead and hop into this discussion for this film. Of course, The Menu stars Anya Taylor-Joy as Margot, who happens to go on a date with a guy named Tyler. Now, Tyler is what you would call a foodie. He's extremely obsessed with high-class meals, well-designed courses, food shows, and things like that. You guys know the type of person I'm talking about, right? And so our two characters here happen to be going to this particular event where a world-renowned chef would be cooking for them. It's extremely high class, extremely hard to get into this restaurant to experience what they do there. So throughout this entire film, though, particularly when this film first opens, it pays extreme attention to the types of dishes that we're getting inside of here, to everything that's going into it. We're getting close, zoomed in shots. You know, it reminded me a lot of the diner scenes inside American Psycho, if you've seen American Psycho, where everything is so high class to the point where it's almost satirical. And that's sort of what you get here inside of this film, though, throughout the entire movie, as we stated. And so the audience is really put into Anya Taylor-Joy's seat, into Margot's seat inside of this film, because it's this fish out of water experience of someone who's not really into the culture that she's, you know, getting to experience during this film. And so the remarks that she makes inside of this film, the snarky comments and things, it's things the audience can relate to, and she asks the proper questions that we want to know in terms of unraveling what is really going on here. What's the mystery of this film? What's going on in the background? And man, let me tell you, you can hardly be prepared for the answer of that. Now, I'm not going to reveal it here. I'm going to do my best to review this movie without saying too much, because I want you guys to go experience this film for yourselves. It's such a unique experience. And one of my favorite roles inside this movie was the chef inside of here who prepares all their meals for him. He has a very important role inside of this film. The way he portrays this character is just fantastic and just what the movie needed, really. And I love the way that he interacts with all of his guests here, and how every single guest inside of the restaurant sort of represents a certain type of individual who may be watching this film. And I really like that, because I feel like everyone has a character that they can relate to inside of here, and it adds a lot to the comedy of this film that I think is really genius, especially with the dialogue inside of here, which this film does a lot of. This film is heavily reliant on the dialogue between our characters inside of here, and I love the dynamic of almost every single one of the guests. I mean, there is really no weak links here. They all provided something to this film, and the more this film goes on, man, the more insane it gets. I didn't expect to see a lot of what I got to see inside of this film. I was shocked. I was surprised through a lot of it. There's a lot of disturbing imagery, so I'll give you a little warning there before you go in and see this. And that's what I feel like adds to the thriller elements that I mentioned in this film, which is my favorite genre. So I love how this movie implemented those moments in the suspense building, and also what this film is trying to say, because while it's trying to, you know, put a spotlight on and glorify our food obsessed culture, and also the high classness of the entire thing and how sort of ridiculous it could be at times, I feel like it's playing both sides of the fence, because it's glorifying it but also putting it down and saying, you know, don't do too much of that. And I feel like everyone's going to get their own thing outside of this movie, which comes off as so sophisticated by the end, and it has plenty of messages for the audience that I definitely enjoyed. And I'm not gonna lie, the more we get through this, the more harder this becomes to talk about, because so much of this movie is spoilers. So with all that being said, guys, go out and see The Menu. I don't think this film is going to be everyone's cup of tea, though I do think every person should see this movie. Definitely support this one at the cinemas. Definitely go watch this on the big screen. definitely form your own opinion about it. And I think this is just the type of movie that we needed to be ending the year off on. I'm really glad I got to witness this one. I really am. I'm definitely gonna go and see it a second time. It has a level of rewatchability to it, and even me being, you know, not a big food person myself by any means, which this movie is clearly obsessed with, I still got a lot out of it. I still enjoyed my entire ride through this film. And with that being said, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and drop the rating for The Menu. I give The Menu a 9 out of 10. It gets the 9 out of 10, man. Like I said, one of the best films I've seen this year. Definitely support this one at the box office. Those are my thoughts on this film. I'd love to know your thoughts on this movie down in the comment section down below, because if you've seen the film, you know it's absolute insanity. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. If you don't know what I do on Demigod ENT, do commentary, reactions, or reviews, so if you're just any of that, you're in the right place, man. Hit subscribe, hit the like button. I drop multiple videos a week on the channel, so you can expect out of me. And if you don't already know, I am the Demigod, the chosen one, here on Demigod ENT. And I'm out of this thing, man. I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.
Happy birthday to you.
You told him it was my birthday?
Seemed funny about 3 hours ago.